Hello, everyone, and welcome to Oceanside Village. I'm your host, Michael Merriam. Mary Jo and I put together this short video to introduce you to our beach house and get you acquainted with most of the features of where you'll be staying. I'm showing here the main check-in gate where you'll first arrive to get your car pass for your stay on your vacation. There are many gates here in the village, but this is the first one you'll go through to get registered as a guest and get the windshield pass for your vehicle. Hopefully now you've got your registration paperwork filled out and can simply present the form at the gate to get your pass. You're welcome to ride through the village to get to the house, and the map here will get you going and finding it. At the front of the house, the key box is located on the wall right in front of the golf cart. I know it's hard to see in this picture, but when you approach the house, you'll see the box under the light fixture on the wall. It has a slide-down cover that hides the number tumblers where you can roll them to enter the combination to open it. If you don't have it from your welcome kit, the combination reading it from left to right is 3273. When all the numbers are aligned with the indicator, pull down on the black lever to release the latch and open it. The release lever is kind of small, and sometimes using something like a spare key to pull it down can make opening the box easier. But inside you'll find the house key and the key for the golf cart. The house key opens both the back and front doors, plus the door to the shed on the back patio. I've put both the house number and the combination to the lockbox on the key ring. On most doors, the key will insert with the smooth side up, and on departure day, return the keys to the box and close it. We suggest all guests attach the key ring to their personal ring to easily keep track of them while they visit. Occasionally, keys can be forgotten, locked in the house, or sometimes lost. Here on the back porch, there is a faux stone hide-a-key which has a spare set for the house and the golf cart, and hopefully you'll never need them, but they're there just in case. Golf cart is a fun and easy way to enjoy your stay here at the village, but first, some of the rules. First, the golf cart can only be used on village property and to travel to and from the beach parking lot. The golf cart is not allowed out on the county streets. Now, you'll undoubtedly see them outside the village. However, these must be registered like a passenger car, and they carry a sticker indicating they're permitted. Ours is only registered in the village, and any use outside of it can result in the operator getting a ticket from law enforcement. The golf cart offers little protection in a collision, and without seat belts puts the passenger at risk on public streets. Enjoy its use while you stay, but only operate it in the village or back and forth from the beach parking lot. Secondly, the village has a safety patrol that is on the lookout for golf cart operators, and only a licensed driver with insurance can use the cart in the village. Security is out on the lookout for underage drivers and can issue fines if they find an operator is underage. Lastly, the golf cart should not be operated after dark. The headlight is very temperamental and only gives an inadequate view in the evening. Therefore, we suggest not driving it when it's dark. The golf cart is battery powered and requires a charging time to make sure it's ready for the day's use. We suggest you plug it in before retiring so the cart is fully charged for the next day. The charger is located on the porch and has a power cord to plug it in and a second cord to attach it to the golf cart. To charge it, take the yellow cord and insert it into the socket under the seat. The plug end needs to be lined up with the ridge in the opening to make sure it's fully inserted. When it's plugged in, you can see the blue light indicating the charger is plugged in, and the flashing green light indicates that it is restoring the batteries. The key to operate it is inserted with the smooth side down, and turning it clockwise will set it ready for operation. There is a switch just above the charging port which can be selected to put the cart in reverse. You will hear a buzzing sound when it's ready to back up. A couple of other notes on the golf cart. Now these are things that I take care of when I stop by, but just in case you have any conditions that affect the golf cart's operation, I'll give you a quick overview of what they do. There is a switch seen here that allows the cart to switch from run mode to tow mode. In the event that the cart malfunctions, switching this to tow mode will make it easier to push off the side of the road or to return it back to the house. Again, it's not something that we expect to be used, but it's there if it's needed. Also, I check the battery water level between guest visits, and I keep some distilled water in the shed to refill them due to mostly evaporation. If you notice the cart does not have the same run time after charging, it could be the batteries may be low on water. I do check these though between guest visits. We do not want to see anybody put tap water from the faucets in the batteries. They contain a lot of mineral content that can affect the life of the batteries. So if needed, the distilled water is there for you. After checking in and getting the windshield tag for your car, you'll find a gate pass waiting for you in the house. Please do make sure you have the car pass in the vehicle during your stay. As a convenience for our guests, we are supplying a gate pass to use during your stay. The pass can be inserted to open any of the gates to allow access into the village and to the private beach parking lot for residents and guests. There is a gate most folks find convenient when coming and going through the village, right across from the beach parking lot and just down the street here from us. Please return the pass on departure day in the envelope where it's kept on the fridge. Replacing the gate pass is a charge of $20, so you want to make sure you don't lose it or forget to return it. Using the cable TV, the Wi-Fi, and the Blu-ray can be a challenge when using unfamiliar equipment. Hopefully in this section I can walk you through everything you'll need to know to set up for cable TV viewing, use the guide to scroll through channels, and even use the DVR to record shows. After that, I'll show you how to use the Blu-ray, where you can take advantage of the library of video discs in the laundry closet, and then use streaming services like Netflix, and then lastly how to connect to the Wi-Fi. We've narrowed down the number of required remotes to control the electronics to the 3 that you see pictured here. The Spectrum remote is the one you'll use primarily, as it is the one that can turn on or off all the equipment and use it to change channels and the volume. It also can program for playback and recording if using the DVR, and will let you scroll through the channels to select programs for viewing. The Samsung remote will do many of these things also, but we mainly use it for the selecting of other TV inputs like the Blu-ray player and other streaming services you may have accounts for if you have subscriptions. Lastly, the Sony Blu-ray remote controls the player for inserting or ejecting discs, and the play, pause, fast forward, and rewind controls in DVR playback. Okay, let's turn on the TV. Using the Spectrum remote, aim it at the cable box and press the System On button shown here at the top left of the remote. This remote is programmed to control both the TV and the cable box, and we will need to turn both of them on in order to watch the set. You'll see the illuminated white circle and the 4 arrows when the cable box is powered on, and the TV will power up next. Pressing this button again will turn everything off. In the event that both of these do not come on as described, you can use the individual cable and TV buttons to turn the equipment on or off individually by simply first pressing the component that you want to activate, either the cable box or the TV, and then directly above it the power button. Here's an example of what the screen looks like when initially powered on. It shows the spectrum map kind of in the middle as the one currently active. And the channel it is set to is what you see in the top left where it says on demand. You can use the left and right arrow buttons kind of at the top center of the remote to change the input to another source, like for example the Blu-ray player right here from the screen. From here you can put up the TV guide with the button shown here, or the DVR function button with the list button shown here on the remote. When the Spectrum app is the video source, you can press the menu button, which is right next to the guide button at the top of the remote, to select a number of things from the list. You can bring up the channel guide, as you see here, and using the up and down arrows will let you scroll through the channel list. Selecting the DVR option from the list will bring up a list of recorded programs and allow you to select and program future recordings if you choose. The Samsung remote can be used to power on or off the TV by itself, but more importantly it will give you the option to select from a number of different streaming services built in. When the source button at the top right is pressed, it will bring up a menu of streaming services that you can select by using the arrow keys and then finally the enter key between them. If you'd like to return to TV viewing, select the Spectrum app from the list above. Here I'm selecting the Disney Plus app and then the sign-in screen to begin viewing. The Sony remote controls the player. You can use the green on-off button to power it on or off, or use the open-close button at the top left to access the DVR tray. The fast forward, rewind, play, pause features are all controlled by this remote. Now to return to TV viewing, you'll need to use the source button on the Samsung remote and switch the source back to the Spectrum app where you can get back to TV viewing. Let's move forward and show you how to log on to the Wi-Fi. I'm going to use my iPhone here to log on to the Wi-Fi by pressing the settings buttons on the phone and then Wi-Fi from the menu. Lastly, I'll select the home's Wi-Fi router, which is the Netgear 78 5G. It'll prompt you to enter the password, which you may have saved from your welcome kit paperwork. But if not, the password is Gifted Valley 366, just as it appears here on the modem. You can select this channel for a laptop, a tablet, or any other Wi-Fi enabled equipment that you may have brought along. Now for the TV in the bedroom. Here you'll also use two remotes. First, the Spectrum remote will power on the cable box, and the smaller TV remote to select the input for viewing. This TV has more streaming services built in, and as you look at the menu, you can go through the different ones that are offered. Like the living room TV, the HDMI channel here at the top gets input from the cable box, and you can use the Spectrum remote to select your channels for viewing. It's been a priority of ours to make each guest stay here at Oceanside Village a memorable one. And with us lucky enough to have been hosting families since 2006, we've added a number of things to the house for fun, safety, and convenience. Plus, here are some helpful hints about the house. First, we've included 2 bikes to be used while you stay. Now, eventually, one or more of the tires may need air, and you are welcome to use the air pump in the shed to refill them. Here, I'm showing how to attach the end of the air hose, and next here, how to lock it on and begin pumping. Works pretty good, and feel free to use it if any of the tires get low. We also are including a couple of additional safety items in the event that there is an emergency. First, you'll see a fire extinguisher here in the linen closet next to the washer and dryer, and also a first aid kit in the event they might be needed. Naturally, we hope neither is necessary, but they are there just in case. Here's some other information about the house that may lead to questions if they're not explained. We get a number of calls from our guests regarding these things, so hopefully we can explain them here. First, the kitchen table light is controlled by a dimmer switch right next to the flip switch by the back door. Occasionally, the use of this switch invariably moves the dimmer switch and can lead to questions about the light's brightness. This type of slide dimmer is barely noticeable and can accidentally be moved without knowing it. It can, however, be used to change the intensity of the light if you want to. The overhead light in the back living area is on the same type of switch, and you can also change its intensity with the same type of sliding dimmer switch. Like the kitchen light, flipping this up or down powers the light on or off. Lastly, the two fans on the front porch are controlled by a switch you see here below the outside light. The fan speeds are controlled by the pull chains, but if you'd like to turn them on or off, use the switch here on the wall. At the end of your visit, we ask our departing guests to help us in preparing for our next arriving guest. Many families that are eager to check in appreciate our being able to get the house ready ahead of time if it is possible. So we ask all departing guests to complete the checklist shown here. First, run as much laundry as possible. Stripping the beds and running them and any other linens through the washer and dryer are appreciated. We don't mind if the last batch needs to go in the dryer, but having to do multiple loads ties up our cleaning service, and they charge us extra if they need to wait around for the laundry. Next, do a good cleanup. Picking up and emptying the trash, cleaning out the fridge, and personal items are definitely appreciated. Next, if you've brought them, clean up after your pets. We have to pay our service provider extra if they have to deal with animal waste. Lastly, return the keys to the lockbox. We want to make sure there are keys and backups available for each guest. Now, we understand that checkout day can be hectic, or some may want one last morning by the ocean, and some guests prefer an early departure. We have now made available some of these services you can opt for if they might delay your departure plans. We have posted a sheet on the fridge that outlines these arrangements if so chosen. Lastly, travel safely. For those of you who might want to consider a return visit, keep our contact information, as booking directly through us can save you the cost of the service fee that is charged through the online booking services. To end our tour, I'm going to take you on a short golf cart trip from the beach parking lot back to the house. It's a little cloudy today, so the weatherman has been a little stingy with the overcast skies here today. One of our most popular reviews is how convenient it is from the house here to the ocean parking lot. As you can see, it's a short trip in the cart and only a few minutes on foot. Oceanside Village has a huge advantage, which has made it one of the most popular attractions for beach vacationers here on the Grand Strand by having its own private beach parking lot. It eliminates the hassles of metered parking or large public garage parking by having its own private lot. The gates here secure the lot for only Oceanside Village residents and guests, and with the ease of use of the golf cart trip like this, it's very popular here for vacationers. The lot here also has rinse-off showers and public bathrooms right there at the ocean. Full-size vehicles can also park here too, and once you've crossed Ocean Boulevard, you'll need to use the gate card passes to get in and out of the village. Our sincerest thank you for selecting our home for your vacation. We realize there are a lot of options when it comes to selecting a place to stay for your family, and we are thrilled to have you as our guest. We are always available for any questions or concerns, so feel free to call or text me at my mobile number, which is 843-957-2658. And once again, we thank you.